What's the word? What's the question?
What I got to bring to the table? You know, the table is where we lay it all out
The table, real
and
conversations.
have the conversation.
We go.
It's been dawning upon me because I've been noticing these cruise lines been rolling out with all these private islands and
Mhm.
their private destination, right? So I'm thinking, are all these private islands like a dream destination, or is it really a corporate brilliant idea to keep you from spending monies with the locals?
That's a good question. Like, if you had to break it down, because Royal Caribbean has Perfect Day at CocoCay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Carnival has Celebration Key that
Right?
just launched,
Mm-hmm.
and then NTL has the Great Stirrup Cay,
Yep.
still building,
Still building, still constructing.
right? MSC, they do have the Ocean Marine Cay that we went
Mm-hmm.
to.
Yeah.
Um, it's a little bit of both, honestly, because dream destination.
It's true. But like you said, all right, for example, you talked about Royal Caribbean who has Perfect Day Coco Cay in the Grand Bahamas, right?
Mhm.
So you saw the news where Mexico actually
They
denied them.
they shut down real
They
quick,
shut it down real
real
quick
quick.
because they were trying to do a perfect day in Mexico.
Mexico.
Right. So they shut that down like ASAP. Like they was like, no, straight up
Mhm.
no. So and then they feel like with the whole environment and it's taken away from the locals.
Mhm.
And that's the question. Do you think they're building all these private destinations to take away from the locals? Because at the end of the day, when you have your own, you're always going to make sure that you go to your private destination because that's money and contract that you have versus you're taking away from a local. And it all depends. Don't get me wrong. Some people like that real port experience, like a Nassau or a Cozumel, where
Mhm.
they get to try local foods, mingle with the locals, shop at the local market. Versus you're going to a Perfect Day at CocoCay or Celebration Key or Great Stirrup Cay, where it's like you think you're getting local island food, but you're just getting food off the ship, and you're not experiencing the actual food.
That's a interesting point. Because you got to think, Perfect Day at CocoCay was been here
Yeah.
for years.
Mm-hmm.
As we've seen, like after COVID, they just been rolling out with a lot of private destinations.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's more so specifically like to the cruise line.
Right.
I think right now it's just money grab.
Because think about it. Celebration Key just announced that they can launch 4 ships, right? Which could hold up to 13,000 guests a day.
Guess how much money they're gonna be making in a day?
Of course. And that's what I'm saying. So it's it's kind of like it's a brilliant idea for money grab, but it's also hurting the locals.
Yes. Like if we know people who
Right.
who work at these private destinations,
Mm-hmm.
we've heard their stories, how they were contracted with the cruise line.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, I feel like yes, they are contracted, but they're only getting like a small portion
Right.
of either renting out a food truck or their business vendor or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
They're only getting a small portion of that.
Right.
But the cruise line, they have to make sure like their money.
Yeah, they're getting their
That,
money.
that's all.
Because, like, okay, think about it. If you're doing a 3-4 selling, you're guaranteed that you're gonna stop at the private island.
Yeah.
That's like no questions asked about it. Like, for example, we went on Sunrise, and it was what, a 4-day selling,
Yeah.
and we end up going to both of Carnival's destination. We went to Relax Away Half Moon Cay,
Hmm.
and then we went to Celebration Key.
Hmm.
There was no other ports that we got to go to. Like, we didn't get to get off and go to Nassau. We didn't get to go to like Mexico or other places, the DR or any of that, right?
Hmm.
So whenever you're on a shorter duration of their selling, you're only bound to go to their private island.
True. But there's like advantages and disadvantages.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we went to Relax Away Half Moon Cay, although uh, it made, I think it's still with the Bahamas,
Mm-hmm.
probably.
Right.
Right. Because they're still constructing it.
Mm-hmm.
we've seen how at the end of the day, heading back on the ship, the crew members,
Yeah.
the crew members went above and beyond. Like they were at the island at 6:45, prepping,
Yes. Yes.
prepping for everyone who's gonna go on relax with Half Moon Cay,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And then at the end of the when we had to go back on the ship, all of the crewmen had to run back for their second shift.
Right.
Now, let's say if it's a celebration key, it's mostly the locals,
It's mostly the locals, right?
right? Um, we've been to Perfect Day at CocoCay,
Mhm.
where you actually have the locals stay on the island.
Right.
Like they
They
don't
do.
like they have specific like I think apartments or something
Yeah.
where they rent out,
Mhm.
and nobody can leave the
The
island,
island, right?
right? Because I'm pretty sure CocoCay is being docked like every day between Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, maybe Silver Seas,
Mhm.
their company.
Right.
But I feel like as they continue to expand, like how they shut down the Mexico, you got to think about it. It's like you're building a destination, but you're taking away from the locals. You're taking
Exactly.
profit, you're taking money, you're taking people's livelihood away from them. That's why I feel like you gotta have a little bit of both.
Mhm.
You can't pull that stunt in Nassau, Bahamas.
Yeah. You can't because I don't know, like, but at the same token where there's pros to it, I just feel like a lot of times like there's no haggling. You don't have to worry about outside excursions. Like you could just get off the port
There.
and you're on the pier and then you're just like right there, right?
Hmm.
So that's one of the things. Then you have like the food, which is most of the time is free. It's included. When you think about it, like when you go to Perfect Day, CocoCay, when you go to Relax Away, Half Moon Cay, even with Celebration Key, you can redeem one free meal. Um, it's just that there are some pros to it because
There
yes,
are.
yeah, there are some pros to it because sometimes you don't feel like going out. Then you don't have to build a whole itinerary when you get off to go to these local, like Nassau or Cozumel. You don't have to worry about booking an excursion, doing a tour.
Yeah.
It's like you just get off, you walk off, and you there. You got the beach, you have the vibes, like you have everything there. Don't get me wrong, I like that part about it, but then again, I don't know. What do you think?
For me, when we first started, it was all about like short excursion through
Mm-hmm.
the cruise line.
Mm-hmm.
But then as we continue to cruise, I noticed I like it way better where we get to help a small business.
Right.
Like pretty much we're helping the locals because like we said, this is their livelihood. If you have thousands of people coming out of port, right?
Mm-hmm.
So many restaurants, bars that we could think of, and let's just say people are just passing by and that one person stopped. That person lost at the end
Right.
of the day.
Right.
So for me, I think it's important to give back
Mm-hmm.
at least. Like you can still have a great vacation.
Right.
Like it's
Right.
you're not forced to do short excursions or tours and stuff
That's
too. But I
true.
always believe in giving back tenfold. Um, that's just with the locals. And when it comes to private destinations, I like it because you're at your own pace.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, like you said, you don't have to build an itinerary,
Itinerary.
right? If I want to go to the beach, I can. If I want to stay at the bar all day, I can.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to hang out, let's say by a lagoon or whatever that they built at the private destination,
Right.
I can do that without like, you already know, waking up early in the morning
Yes.
to go to a short excursion,
It's insane.
right? And then that brings up another point too, how um these cruise lines are making money, but I feel like it's not worth it though.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you go to an ATV, you only have 3 hour duration,
Right.
and then you have to
You
go
have to go back
right.
because you don't want to miss the ship, and then they have to make sure that they get you back on the ship.
Exactly.
Right.
So for me, that's what I'm like. It's kind of
It's a little bit of both. And I feel like some families more so feel it might be for a first time cruiser who might be antsy about visiting another country, because you always hear like these travel advisories when going to these other countries. Like I know Grand Turks and Caicos recently had a
Had
travel
one, yeah.
advisory.
I think Saint
Um,
Martin.
then you get Saint Martin, Jamaica, or sometime like these other places. So for a family cruising for a first time who's kind of antsy, they might feel a little bit more safe when it's like a controlled environment like that versus being out in the local, just out and about, right?
Mhm.
So that's another, I would say, pro to that.
And it's cost efficient.
That's true.
Think about if you're cruising with the family, large party too,
Yes.
right? And y'all want to do a short excursion, private tour, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
That's money.
That's money.
That is a lot of money.
Or even trying to travel to like go to a beach. But
Yes.
what saves these private islands is that you can kind of say like it's included in your cruise fare, because you're not paying to get
That's what I'm
in.
saying.
Only if you want to do like separate things like a hideaway or like a private adult
Right.
only. But everything else, family friendly. The splash pad, for example, Celebration Key,
Celebration Key, yeah.
it's included in your fare.
Mhm.
One meal is included in your fare. Same thing with CocoCay. You have all these different areas that you can go, these different beaches, except for the hideaway that you have to pay extra for. And I think that thrill island
Mhm.
that you have to pay for. But then the food is free. You could find other places that's free and that's complimentary that you don't have to spend. Because imagine you do have a large group of family. Then when you go out to the locals, the beaches may not be as close to the port. So now you got to pay for transportation.
True.
So it's just like, I don't know.
I was gonna ask you, since we're on the subject, where do you rank as far as the best private destination?
Ooh. That is
And this is based on the cruise that we've cruised
that
on.
we've cruised on. Mm.
Now we could go from bottom to top. Pause. Okay, so did we do MSC?
We did MSC.
Yeah, MSC is like I didn't really like it.
There was really nothing to do
Nothing to
but
do.
the beach and that party that they had in the evening. So I would say MSC is like at the bottom.
Let's do some pros with that though,
Mm-hmm.
with that destination, because I think we were docked from like 11.
Yes.
We docked there at 11 and we left around like 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, yes.
So I like how you didn't have to feel rushed to get off the ship.
That is true. There you didn't have to feel rush, and they had like a lighthouse watch
Yes.
thing that they
Like a
did,
party.
like a party and a beach party in the evening, which was really nice because for us that was our first time. We even got the opportunity to get on the ship and get back off again.
Yeah.
So and then the sunset and all
Yeah.
that other stuff. So that was nice. That's a pro with that. As far as like real private destination, I feel like to go head to head, it would have to be either Celebration Key with Carnival or Perfect Day CocoCay with Royal Caribbean, because those two are the ones that literally have like the slide, you get the thrill, the chill, like those two
I'm gonna give Perfect Day as the number one
as the
choice.
number one.
Yeah. Only because there are so many food on the island
Mm-hmm.
compared to Celebration Key, where
Right.
you can only redeem one,
Yes.
and then afterward they charge
You have to pay. But on CocoCay, you have the snack shack, you have the area where they do the buffet, you have Captain Jack's or something like that it's
Yeah.
called. It's like so many different places where there's like literally food everywhere
Everywhere.
around the island.
Yeah.
Like you said with Celebration Key, there are a lot of different food, but a lot of it you do have to pay for it.
Right.
Except for like you said, that one meal that you're able to redeem, and that's it. That's where I feel like Celebration Key kind of lose point. Because imagine if a family's out all day, like from early morning, and they want to spend the whole entire day. So now you're telling me, well, if I want food, I can only get one, and I gotta go back on the ship if I don't want to
We
pay
did
for
bring up that
extra.
point, yeah.
I gotta go back on the ship, eat food, and then get off again, which is too much. Because I feel like Once I'm back on the ship, after that sun beat me, I
That's
am
it.
not coming
We
back out,
cooked out
right? We're
here.
cooked. I am not coming back out, right? So, and that's another thing. That's probably one of the cons of where you feel like you're being nickel and dime for these on the private islands. Um, that's one of the other things. So for me, I would say CocoCay.
Great Stir, not yeah, Great Stir K by NTL.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty good. I think it was just newly
Build,
renovated,
yes. And then they were still constructing
constructing.
because
Yeah,
if you saw, I think it's going to be in this summer that they were going to come out with the water slides, the lagoon.
yeah,
I think they were supposed to have a lazy river. Like all of those are nice and those are like really a dream vacation like
right.
how I said. Some people really enjoy just the chill dream vacation feel and some people want to really explore like the real country. Like they want to explore. They want to do the real local ports. Like they don't want to be, confined into oh, I put you in this little island
Yeah,
and
I
that's where
know.
you have to be.
I know.
And that's the thing.
I mean,
So
you could certain destinations you could go out.
go out like Celebration Key. You could
So
go out to
yeah,
Grand Bahama. So that's one. But when it comes to like CocoCay, you can't.
right.
When it comes to like I believe with NCO, I don't think you can. And
No,
with MSC, you can't.
no.
So once you dropped off at that, that's it. There's no going out, there's no experiencing anything. But I just feel like when you go to another country, you want to experience the whole vibe. You want to taste the local food. You want to be able to like get a feel for the country.
Hmm.
And let us know in the comments like what is your thing? Would you rather going to a real port like Mexico, the DR, Jamaica, or Nassau, Bahamas, or do you like that dream destination feel that you get at the private islands?
I think we're waiting on what Virgin's gonna do
Okay.
because knowing that it's adult only, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They pretty much rent out what is it,
Bimini
Bimini?
Beach Club, which is shared with Royal Caribbean as well. Royal Caribbean goes there.
Yeah, but it doesn't go to Bimini Beach Club.
Well, you have to pay.
Right, you have to
So
pay.
you have to pay. But I believe when you go to Bimini, you can go out you gotta rent a golf cart.
Golf
But
cart.
you can go out and explore the Bahamas there.
So I'm waiting to see what Virgin's gonna do. If
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna, I
Make
guess,
their own.
like buy an island
Yes.
and create it just for adults only.
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
Yeah.
That'd be nice because we've been there like twice.
Yeah.
And we know how the vibe is. It's completely
Mm-hmm.
different because no kids.
Yeah.
Right, a peace of mind.
Mm-hmm.
And we already know the pool party. But imagine like if they have a destination specifically for adults, like that's gonna be like game changer right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That is so true. I don't know. I don't know. To me, I like a little bit of both.
I like both.
I like both, and it just all depends. But like I said, when it's your like a 3-4 day selling, you're bound to be stuck going to their private island. And then there's a thing too. Like you're stuck in that bubble where 100% of the money goes right into their ecosystem.
True.
In a sense, a lot of these locals, they depend on tourists to make their money for the day.
That's true.
They depend on us.
Like Carnival's about to launch Island Tropicale
Mm-hmm.
at Honduras.
Oh.
So that's like another. So they have three.
Wow. I didn't even know about that one.
Yeah. We covered it in the past, but they have a Half Moon Cay, Celebration Key, I
Mm-hmm.
think Island Tropicale,
Right.
right? So then now you have Royal Caribbean, perfect at CocoCay. They
Mm-hmm.
were supposed to have another one, but in Mexico, that got shut down. And then that really opened our eyes. Like,
Yeah.
imagine just all of these cruise lines just buying all of these destinations. Then
Destinations,
it's
right.
like, how do the locals survive?
That's why I was going because like in my defense, I'm really concerned for the locals because like I said, a lot of these people depend on tourists. They
Mhm.
depend on our dollars, our money
Our money.
to help get through the day or to feed their family. So it's kind of like The cruise line is like kind of keeping it to themselves because
Right.
it goes right back into the ecosystem of the cruise line. Like
Mhm.
when we go to, like I said, when we go to Perfect Day CocoCay, all that money goes back to Royal Caribbean
Exactly.
because we're just spending on the
And guess
inside.
what? When all of that money goes back to Royal Caribbean, that's how they keep building these new ships
Yep.
in advance.
Yeah.
So you can see it's like a cycle of how they're making their money, but they're very good at that from their marketing,
Mm-hmm.
especially with their ship, showing the destination,
Right.
Perfect Day at CocoCay. So now you're starting to see it with Carnival too. Like all of these, high end cruise line, they're just marketing the hell out of their brand, and then that's what makes us book the cruise. But again, what about the locals?
Right. That is true.
Yeah.
So it's just like your final thought. So what's the verdict? Do you think it's a ripoff when it comes to these private islands, or do you think it's just like a massive value add-on? Or you're in between?
It's in between. You got to have a balance.
Mm-hmm.
But again, from how I see it, yes, they probably do work with the locals, but they're probably only getting like in the back end a small
That's
percentage.
true. That's true.
Because it's a business at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know if it'll ever come to a point where it'll be like 50-50,
Right.
like in a partnership or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if the local, who's contracted with the cruise line, they don't see it's an issue, and they're making, their, I guess, quota or whatever
Mm-hmm.
for the day,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no issue, then I guess it works for them.
Right. So we want to know in the comments, let us know, do you guys, when you are looking up your itineraries, do you instantly book when you see a private island, or do you try to avoid the private island and try to do more of the local ports?
Right.
So let us know in the comments.
Let us know. This is The Table, real conversation.
Yes.